So these are 6 watercolors from the series, the Ilya Kabakov's last exhibition here at the gallery in Paris, Under the Snow. And each of the large paintings in this group of 23 major paintings was preceded by a work on paper, either a colored pencil on paper, as you see here in the upper left, or watercolor, or a combination of the two. And this is a group of works, a very coherent group of works, where you have thematic material that goes from a very specific review of the artist's impressions of his own past to a very fanciful, loosely understood, sometimes magical, sometimes very cryptic and surreal sense of imagery that's retrieved out of the artist's own mind. And in each case you have a sense of snow. The white in all of the paintings is, in the first instance, a reference to the snow, and of course the snow in Moscow is something very physical and something that is a part of everybody's common culture. And this notion that when the snow melts, there are pockets of melting, and you see underneath the snow scenes that you had not seen before. And in this group of works, it's very much the sense that we are seeing something hidden. And of course the snow has been something very much deep inside the Russian literary tradition. It's been written about in poetry, in fiction, photographed by Rodchenko, another great early 20th century photographers, and of course Malevich with the White Square was also referencing something very specific in its abstract importance. I think what I would just point out is that here, for example, you have 2 works where you have figures from behind the snow looking at us in the present moment. And this is a kind of perplexing quality that this work has, because you're being called to witness as well as to look. And I think that there is something very emotional in these works, and the more you study them, the more you see that it isn't simply a beautiful watercolor, it's something that has great emotional power. This is a figure that we see in many of Kabakov's paintings. It's a bit like Raphael, where you always have the artist or the patron gazing straight into the viewer's eyes, and there's a sense of inquiry, that we're part of the subject as well as part of the result of what happened so very long ago. Up here you have a figure again of a man and a woman gazing at us. In a sense they're looking with a kind of impassioned calm, but again they're looking at us with either longing or wondering, what are we doing out here and what are they doing in there? And one gets the feeling that in Russian culture for a very long time you've had this inside-outside quality. People being behind closed doors having one reality, people being out on the street having another. And certainly I think Kabakov touches on a very raw emotional nerve in this body of work that looks so romantic and fanciful. So here we have Under the Snow number 15, and it's like the watercolor, you see these 2 figures looking out at us as well. It's important to look very carefully at the brushwork, because in many ways Kabakov is a master of this technique of multiple colors, and it's both like a work on paper and very much like an oil painting. You have glazes and layers of gesso, and it takes a great artist to be able to do so much with so little. And I think in these paintings you feel the weight of his stature, that he comes with this already in the mind, and it's a visual field that he carries with him all of the time. If you look here, this is almost like a late Cézanne, the way the color is applied, brush by brush. And yet the totality is very cinematic in a sense, because you have space opening up in the depth of the painting. And we again are out here looking into another reality. So I think you've got Kabakov playing with these levels of reality, with these levels of emotional experience, with the past, with the future, and with the present, all at the same time. And that's something very loaded, and it gives you a very deep feeling of rich, unexplained human experience, and this is very much the sense of this body of work.
Thank you.